Hi, I'm Holly. I'm the owner of Accrual Mistress Bookkeeping and Consulting. And today I wanted to go ahead and take a few minutes to walk you through some of the keyboard shortcuts that are available when you are working in your QuickBooks Online or desktop files. Now, a lot of these shortcuts that are built in work in both places, and they are basically designed to just save us time on data entry, right? Instead of navigating through all the different menus that are available or having to go through multiple clicks, they're going to get us to the place that we want to go in one or two clicks. So in order to view a menu of all of these different shortcuts that are available, you can hit Control-Alt question mark on your keyboard, and that is going to pull up this menu. Now, incidentally, this is also where you go to find your company ID if you are looking for it, but you also have all of these different shortcuts that are available to you, okay? So if you happened to work in QuickBooks Desktop before, some of these might look a little bit familiar. Control A is still going to get you to the chart of accounts. Control I is still going to create a new invoice. Control W is still going to start a check for you to be writing it, okay? So those are all there, and there are a few extras as well. So if you ever need to double check something or are wondering why something isn't working, here is your menu where you can go and view those. But I actually wanted to take a couple minutes here now to go over some of the keyboard shortcuts that are available in the file, but are not on this menu, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and close this here. And then I'm gonna opt to go over to the chart of accounts. Whoops. And I'll just go into this uncategorized asset account. I'm just going to be using the register to demonstrate these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a new deposit transaction. But let's say that I am not recording this deposit transaction as if it happened today. I'm recording it because it happened back on the first of the month. Okay, now there's a really easy shortcut to remember how you would navigate to each of these ones that I'm going to show you. If you want to go to the first day of the month, you hit the M key. If you want to go to the last day of the month, you hit the H key. And that is quite simply because that's the first letter of the word month and the last letter of the word month. So let's go ahead and try that now. If I hit the M key on my keyboard, it's automatically taking me back to the first day of the month that I am in. If I hit the H key, it's taking me to the last day of the month that I'm in. This also works for the word year. If I hit Y, it's going to take me to the first day of the current calendar year. And if I hit R, it's going to take me to the last day of the current calendar year. Now, there are a couple other cool little shortcuts here that I want to show you. So first, let's say that I'm working in a company and they had their fiscal year end on June 30th, okay? And I need to do a journal entry for June 30th. Well, you can type in June 30th in here, or you can actually use this little calendar to go to that date, but there's a quicker and easier way to do that. If I highlight this and type in 0630 and then hit tab, it's automatically going to put in June 30th, 2025. So by just typing in 0630, it automatically put in the year and the slashes for me, so I didn't have to do that, okay? Now let's say that we have to do that for June 30th of 2024. Really simple, really easy. All we're going to do is type 063024, hit tab, and it's going to automatically fill in the rest of that date for us, okay? So if you are in current year and if you are trying to navigate to a date that's in current year, you can use the 4-digit date code, 2 for the day, 2 for the month, okay? But if you are trying to go to the prior year, you do have to do a 6-digit date code. So that's how we get to all of those different places here. There is one more shortcut that I want to show you here that I really like, especially if I'm going through and manually entering checks for people on Moss. I don't do that quite so much in QuickBooks Online anymore because the bank feeds do kind of negate that. But sometimes if I'm working with a client in QuickBooks Desktop and they have an older version of the file and I'm manually entering checks, this is a really cool shortcut. So let's say that I started entering checks and I'm entering all the checks for the month of September so far. So I'm actually going to type in 0901 because they started writing checks on the first of the month. But as I go through, they write checks every few days. It might not be worth it for me to type in 0903 to get to the next check that they've written. So what I can instead do is I can hit the plus key twice, and that increases the date 2 places. okay? So we went from the first to the third by hitting the plus key twice. Now, if I wanted to progress to the seventh, I could hit it a few more times and get to the seventh. If I overshot it, I could hit the subtract key and go back one day, okay? So those are some really cool little features that are built in to make date navigation in QuickBooks a little bit easier. Okay, there is one final one that I'll show you, and it goes back to the letter keys. If I hit the T key on my keyboard, it's going to take me to today's date. Okay, so I will put all these shortcuts below so that you can access these without going through the whole video, but these are some of the date shortcuts that are available. Now, I want to call your attention to one other field on this line, and that is the dollar field, the value field, right? Now, there's a really cool shortcut that is baked into this as well. The only place that I've come across that doesn't allow you to do this is unfortunately in the payroll screens, but in your registers, in your journal entries, in your expense transactions, in your invoices, and your bills, this is going to work in all of those places, okay? So your date or your value field here, your dollar value field here, excuse me, is automatically a built-in calculator. Okay, so by using the same symbols that we use in Excel, we can get this field to calculate totals for us. Okay, so let's say that I'm adding a couple of different transactions together to get to this point. I could say add 50 and 86 and 25. And then hit tab, and it's going to automatically total all of those up for me, okay? Now, like I said, it's all the same key shortcuts as Excel. So we used the addition one already. Let's go ahead and say I received a bill from a customer and it's $2,500, or a vendor rather, and it's $2,500, and I want to split it evenly between 3 different expense accounts. Well, I can hit 2,500 and then divide by 3, and it's automatically going to do that math for me, okay? Now, we can also do multiply. So let's say we bought, 130 items at $15 a piece, and we need to enter that. Done, right? So this is a really phenomenal resource. If you need to split transactions, it helps you with splitting out interest versus principal. It can help if you are using a field where the quantity isn't available. So you bought 3 of something that was kind of an odd amount and you want to put that in and have it automatically calculated. That works for this. And there are a lot of other ones that I use this for, primarily just getting journal entries and other things to balance out and doing that double check, okay? So these are just a few of the resources that are available here. Like I said, feel free to revisit that menu that I showed you at the front end by hitting Control-Alt?. That will take you to that keyboard shortcuts menu. And you can feel free to explore that. And I hope you find these useful as you are navigating your QuickBooks file. If you like this video, please let me know below, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like more tips.